Welcome to Whispering Pines Shetland Sheep Farm in western New York State, home to our lovely flock of soft Shetland sheep. We breed and raise our sheep to produce soft, crimpy wool for hand spinners to enjoy. Thank you for liking this video and for subscribing to our channel. Taking care of the sheep in the winter for me is an opportunity to just settle into the work, to appreciate all the good that is in work. I am fortunate that I can make my own schedule as a farmer, and so I can dedicate as much time as I like to shoveling paths, dumping and refilling water buckets, visiting with my friendlies in the barn. Every second of the work is fulfilling and important. Winter forces me to take it slow, go step by step, and make sure all the sheep are safe and fed and ready for a good day. I love to shovel paths in the snow. I always make time to create a lane from the back door of the house to the front door of the barn. Something about the connection from the house to the barn, me and the sheep. A lifeline similar to the rope Pa used in Little House on the Prairie when he did chores in a blizzard. When we stored minerals in the garage, it was fun to slide the 50-pound bags on a sled from the back door to the door of the barn via this path. The laundry is piled up, the bathrooms need cleaning, the wool cave could use a tidy, and yet here I am, enjoying the crisp, bright day in my insulated gear, filling my lungs with the refreshing cold air, and enjoying the absolute silence of a cold winter morning. I've got 2 plastic sleds I use for all sorts of transport when there's snow on the ground. They belong to our 2 grown sons when they were little. I think about sledding with them every time I use them. I'd rather use the sleds than fire up the noisy, stinky diesel tractor on such a morning. Those tracks I'm covering with the sled are from our indoor-outdoor cat, Marty. We have 60 ewes in the barn right now, and I'm giving them 1.5 bales of second cutting hay morning and evening. Every day before I go out, I look at the weather report for the day and to decide if I want to feed them outside where they love to be, or shut them up inside to protect them in the barn from excessive wind or snow. Today is an outside day. Temperatures are in the teens today, so dumping hay in the snow isn't really a big deal, as it won't get wet. But if it was warmer, I really try to prevent the hay bales from getting wet. The sheep tend to avoid it, and if it sits for a day in warm weather, it can get kind of rotten smelling. We put the hay right on the ground for them. Well, snow in this case. I like to break the bales into sections and then space them along the fence line so the sheep aren't all congregating over one bale, stepping on the hay, pooping on it, and ruining it. We don't feed our sheep hay in the summer. They do just fine on pasture. One thing about winter chores I don't like is the hour or so that I spend after coming in the house picking prickly bits of hay out of my bra and shirt and socks. My mittens are wonderful at keeping my hands warm, but they're impossible for any hand work that I have to do when I'm wearing them. It's like trying to do stuff with oven mitts on. That half bale will be what they get that night, along with another full bale. Every morning, the greeting from the sheep is pretty much the same. My 2 lambs from 2024, that's Magpie, and that's Robin. They get a kiss hello. And then Aida, my little brown ewe there, she monitors the quality of my door opening skills. So she'll just pace back and forth in front of me to make sure I do it right. And then Lucretia will use her large size, she's that white ewe, to her advantage to secure the premium spot just to the right of me as I open the door. She just sticks right through me. And that little vocal sheep in the background, that one, that's Chickadee. She's Mabel's lamb from last year. She bleats at me from that east wing like a guy in a traffic jam, hitting the horn as if it's going to make a difference. I don't understand why they don't just eat the hay. They pick out the best parts first, 2 or 3 tiny stalks at a time. Then they'll paw at that flake of hay just to get the perfect bite. Where we live, the sheep need a mineral supplement. We use a PVC pipe feeder to create a free choice feeder, which needs refilling every day. Sometimes the feeder gets clogged, so I use the broken end of a shepherd's crook to break up the minerals and get them flowing again. Next, of course, is water. We have running water and electric in our barn. Years ago, we installed a heating pad for the water hydrant in the barn to prevent the water from freezing in the pipe. I have 4 electric buckets in the barn for 6 to use, and each ram pen has an electric bucket also. This bucket just needs a topping off. If the water is very low or if a ewe is pooped in the water, the entire contents of the bucket gets dumped outside and then refilled. Now I'm off to get hay for the rams in the outside pens. The trailer on the right there holds our snowmobile, and the wagon on the left is our manure spreader, which we don't use anymore as we've converted all of our open acreage into pasture. Never spread manure in your pasture. That's really bad for parasite management. In this barn, we store the hay that we use to feed the sheep. This is what we have to see us through till May when the sheep start on pasture. I think we should be okay. There's one pen with 4 rams and another with 2 rams, so they won't need the whole bale at one feeding. I'll cut the bale open and keep it in the barn, and then I draw from the flakes as I need them for each feeding. One bale usually lasts us a couple days. It has been snowing nonstop this year. I've been trying to maintain paths for access to the ram pens using the tractor and the bucket, but I haven't been keeping up with it very well, as you can see. I really enjoy seeing the tracks in the snow left by wildlife that consider our property home. Lots of bunny tracks. This pen holds the 4 ram lambs that we used for breeding this year. Technically, they will be lambs until their first birthday in April. Now on to the adult ram pen for their morning hay feeding. Every morning, the adult rams greet me with what looks like very carefully choreographed moves, as if they're practicing for their upcoming TikTok video debut. Wait a minute. What's this? We have frozen water in the bucket. Not good. I have to take extra time now to figure out why the electric heated bucket isn't working and remedy the situation. It could be that the electrical cable got disconnected somewhere, or it could be the bucket stopped working. The first is an easy fix. The second means I'm going to have to dig out an unused electric bucket from the barn. Hope it works. Fill it, connect it, and then cross my fingers. I think I'm getting close to needing to buy new buckets, as I've replaced a couple already this year. This is the cable that's running from the barn to a connection at the westmost ram pen, which then runs out to the adult pen. So this connection looks like it's intact. But hang on a second. Here is a clue. The West Ram pen water bucket is also frozen over. This pen has been vacant since we broke down the breeding groups. We just never bothered disconnecting and putting away the bucket. The odds of 2 buckets going down at the same time are slim, especially if they're on the same line. So I'm betting it's the cable malfunction at this point. So in order to continue inspecting this cable, I'm going to have to pull this cord out from under a block of frozen, hard, drifted snow. Perfect. Remember that thing I said about appreciating the good of work and being in the moment? Yeah, neither do I. Those oven mitts once again are slowing me down, so it's back to bare hands working in the snow. Fortunately, my body temp is now at that of a pizza oven, so we are good. So here's the culprit. Probably when I was moving all the snow with the tractor bucket to clear away to the ram pen. Let's just hope I didn't accidentally just unplug it with all of my vigorous tugging at the cord. Always oblivious to my struggles, the rams happily munch on their hay as snow accumulates on their well-insulated backs. A quick check of their water shows that hay is blown into the water, so it needs a refresh before the hay cooks in the warm water and becomes a very gross algae soup. So I have to dump it out and refill it with clean, fresh water from the barn. We clip the buckets with metal spring clips to the side of the pen, and of course today there is water in the spring, so I can't get it to unclip in order to be able to dump the water. Fortunately, I remember I have my metal box cutter in my pocket, which works great to supply the blunt force needed to loosen the clip. Almost done. Now I need 2 buckets of water to bring out to the ram pens. We like to keep any extra moisture out of the barn, so we shut the barn doors if the wind is blowing snow into the barn. Damp and cold are just not ideal conditions for any animal. Believe it or not, most of the water did hit the bucket. Now to top off the frozen ice in the adult ram bucket. With the heater working, that frozen water will melt. And if they need water right away, they can just drink what I'm about to pour into their bucket. Animals are fed, they've all got their water. It's a beautiful, beautiful day. So I'm excited about what I'm going to be doing this day. And always ready and thinking about coming back out at night to feed them again and get them to bed. Thank you for stopping by to watch this video. I hope you enjoyed it. And if you did like it, it helps the farm if you can. If you could hit the little thumbs up button. And also, if you could subscribe to the channel, that also helps. I'm almost to 3,000 subscribers, which is a pretty big milestone for me. But it does help the farm. If you like, subscribe, and then if you want to get notification for new videos as they get added to my channel, you hit the little bell and you'll get a notification in your whatever device you're using YouTube on. So thanks again. I hope you liked it, and I hope you can come back soon.